Welcome again. This time we're going to talk about the resources at JewishGen, beside the ones we've already covered. Now, almost everything on JewishGen is right available to you in the table of contents on the home page. There are 5 ovals, and the middle one says databases. And when you see that database drop down, the best thing to do is to go to the complete list of databases. And this is what it looks like. We have already in prior videos talked about the JewishGen Family Finder, where researchers can make connections based on similar surnames and towns. We've talked about the Communities Database, 6,500 towns in Eastern Europe that had a Jewish presence around 1900, and the accompanying JewishGen Gazetteer, which has all the towns in Eastern Europe. We talked also about the daily discussion groups, which is a way to ask your questions and get answers or read about what other people are interested in. But now we're going to look at the towns, the country databases. And you can see we have quite a number of them. And what we've done is we've taken the towns and we put them in the database for today's country. A lot of our towns have changed governments and countries, so we find the best thing to do is use the town where it is today. So these are the types of databases we have. They're a collection of databases primarily done by volunteers all around the world of various vital records and other documents and census that we have found. Next, I'd like to point you to the really excellent JewishGen Online Worldwide Burial Register, familiarly known as JOBAR. It's got over 3 million graves at 7,000 cemeteries, 125 countries worldwide, and many of them include photographs, as you see here an example. A wonderful way to research. JewishGen's Holocaust database has 3 million entries from 150 smaller databases. And they are made primarily of lists, like ghetto lists, camp lists, survivor lists, and just about anything we found that had information about the Holocaust and the people it affected. Next, I'd like you to go to the research oval. In this case, we have first in the research oval, we have Yizka books. 800 translated Yizka books. You know, they were written after the Holocaust by people who got together to memorialize the ancestral towns. They're written primarily in Hebrew and Yiddish, and what we've undertaken is to translate them into English to make them available to the generations to come. These translations are available online, and we've even got over 60 books in print that we've put out for people that don't use the internet. Kahila links. This is interesting. I have 12 of them. These are user-written town pages. When a JewishGener wants to memorialize his ancestral town, he's free to do so and write a page on it. And there are over 900 of these Kahila link pages. And we're open to others who may want to do the same thing using JewishGen as a platform. Next, regional special interest groups. We discussed that in another video. Independent organizations hosted by JewishGen. There are 4 of them I'd like to just discuss. First one is JRI Poland, which we host their database. They're a completely separate organization, and they have indexes to Polish vital records from the Polish Agad Old Records Archive, and they have indices to Mormon microfilms, many of them photocopied worldwide and put on microfilm from the people of the Church of the Latter-day Saints. The Litvak SIG is another example of a hosted site. This is another separate corporation, and they have their own database, although they give us what they have to the JewishGen Litvak database within a year or two of capturing it. So if you are interested in Lithuanian heritage, it's a wonderful place to go. And our last host that I want to mention is Steve Morse. Now, many of you may have used Steve Morse for Ellis Island. It's a wonderful front end to Ellis Island. What I mean by a front end, it doesn't have any data, but it will allow you a better query into Ellis Island database. It will allow you to use Date-Moktov Soundex, which is the Eastern European Soundex. It will give you new capabilities like looking for a person and the person they came with, etc. And by the way, when you're going to Steve Morse, there are so many other front ends and convenient web programs that he has. You really want to just look through that. On the upper left-hand side, it will give you an idea, an index to the other things that he has put on the web. So those are our JewishGen sites and our JewishGen hosted sites. Next, I'm going to talk about Jewish genealogical websites that you really need to look at if you're doing Jewish genealogy research. And thank you for listening.